Drink the water as we didn't have any other alternative.
Previously, the land was deluded and lost its fertility.
The soil has been extremely eroded.
But now with the lesson we acquired, we are trying to build our own.
In a remote Ethiopian rural village, Martha Addis and Martha Marcos epitomize the lives of the country's many women and girls. The two lasses, like many other Ethiopian rural girls, are duty-bound to assist their families with various activities. Among many other domestic duties, they are required to cater for the daily water needs of their respective households. Formerly, there used to be many springs flowing in close proximity to their village. Unfortunately, almost all the springs in the vicinity have dried up due to the adverse impacts of climate change. As a result, each day the two namesakes are obliged to travel to a distant pond and fetch water. The dangerous pathway to the pond would take them more than an hour. With refill vessels on their backs, the return trip could take them even longer. They do not seem to be aware of the risk awaiting them on their way. Luckily, thus far, they did not fall upon a risk such as abduction. They are still providing their families with water, which is the lifeblood of all living things, including humans. But the water is too polluted to be used for any household purpose, let alone for human drinking. Yet, that is what the local communities have been using for years, as they had no any other choice.
We knew that the water is not clean and that it will make us sick. The road was also difficult to walk. We boiled the water before we used. We used it to drink the water as we didn't have any other alternatives. The people around here usually contract giardia and other similar diseases.
The problem is shared by the general public in various qabeles of the Kadida Gamela and Damboya Waradas of the Kambata Tambaro zone of the Southern Nations Nationalities and Peoples region. The Kambata Tambaro zone of Southern Nations Nationalities and Peoples region is located 349 kilometers from Addis Ababa. Kadida Gamela and Damboya are two of the 7 waradas and 1 town in the zone. There are a total of 27 qabeles in the 2 waradas. The natural resource in those 2 waradas had been depleted. The waradas had no access to safe drinking water. As a result, inhabitants were suffering from various waterborne diseases and were lagging behind in terms of development.
We are just coming back from a faraway river to fetch water. We walked for almost 1 hour. Besides that, the water is unclean. As we consume it for a drink, we usually contract various diseases. Carrying the water is like a huge burden. It also consumes our time. Someday we sat out early in the morning and came back late in the afternoon.
This particular place is called Ibala. There used to be many springs around here. Most of them have dried now. Inhabitants of Odame and other neighboring qabeles of the Kadida Gamela Warada, who had suffered from chronic shortage of water, had to come as far as here to get water. Many of them would carry the water on their backs, while others might use beasts of burden like donkey and horse. Following a feasibility study, staff recruitment and opening of the Project Coordination Office, development activities worth about 22 million birr were launched in 12 qabalés of Kadida Gamela and Damboya waradas. The project has been implemented by EOC DICAC in close collaboration with the beneficiary communities and pertinent local government offices. A safe water supply facility built on the Ibala Spring is rendering service to over 11,000 people in Odame, Sheshera Chafa and Hamido Gorfa qabalés. The facilities include 33 water points, 11 washing basins, 12 cattle troughs and 18 bathrooms.
This is one of the scheme of the project. It's called Pump Gravity System. This scheme commenced from Ibala Spring, and at that point at Ibala Spring, the spring is kept, which has got a yield of 80 liters per second, and is conveyed to the collection chamber, which has got a capacity of 25 meters cube or 25,000 liters, and pumped to this reservoir, which is about 2.8 kilometers away from this reservoir.
At present, many qabalés in Kadida Gamela and Damboya waradas have become beneficiaries of potable water service. They have troughs for the cattle in the nearby. They will no more be crossing long distances in search of water. They will no more be suffering from waterborne diseases.
We only provide such portable water just recently. Before that, we used to go long hours of walk to fetch water from the stream. The walk was tiring. Our health was also precarious. Previously, we fetched water from the stream carrying it on our back. We had to endure a 1-hour walk to and fro. We all used that lonely stream, and we had to stay there for a while to take our turn. That makes us late. We had to herd our cattle and breastfeed our kids. But now, thanks to you and God, I do not have words to explain what you did for us. I say God pay you back for what you did for us. You have given us what we want most.
We used to take our cattle to a place called Kafo to drink. We set out in the morning and be back in the afternoon sometimes. Along the way, we also face many hardships. And above all, as we will be tired when we come back and we cannot perform any other tasks. But now, we have the water at our doorstep. That is thankful.
The Kadida Gamela and Damboya Integrated Rural Development Project, which is a joint venture of EOC DICAC, is providing service to 41,000 residents in 12 qabalés of the 2 waradas. The water supply component of the project has consumed 60% of the local budget, while the balance was utilized for environmental protection, personal and environmental hygiene, as well as capacity building schemes. The water supply program has enabled the development of springs, deep and shallow water wells, boreholes, as well as pump and gravity water schemes in the 12 beneficiary qabalés. 6 reservoirs with capacities of holding 200,000, 100,000, 50,000 and 10,000 liters of water have also been constructed. As a result, the prevalence of waterborne diseases has declined from 61% to 20%. Maternal and infant mortality rate has also dropped dramatically. 70% of the population has become beneficiary of potable water service. Women have been relieved of the risk of being raped and abducted on their way to fetch water. Students have been able to attend classes regularly. Kadida Gamela and Damboya Waradas had hindered the development of the area. Now, roads have been constructed and electric lines have been installed with the collaborative efforts of pertinent government bodies and development partners. This has further facilitated and speeded up ongoing development activities in the area. The Kadida Gamela Warada of the Kambata Tambaro zone is a densely populated area. Up to 512 persons live in a space of 1 square kilometer. The people of the area are dependent on subsistence farming. The land had eroded and lost its fertility due to recurrent flooding. One of the components of the development project being conducted by EOC DICAG in collaboration with the European Union and Christian Aid is the Environmental Protection Program. Accordingly, 515 hectares of depleted land was protected from the intrusion of cattle and human beings. Dams and terraces were constructed to prevent erosion and rehabilitate the land. Over 450,000 indigenous trees were also planted for the same purpose.
The terrain itself, which require some kind of environmental protection. This has been initially started, but it has not been completed yet. The environment must be a continuous exercise. Environment protection. As you saw when you were there, the soil has been extremely eroded. And in fact, in many instances, the availability of stone was not visible. The soil has been eroded, and whenever there is rain, the soils were washed away, and then you got to have some kind of plants to protect this type of erosion, sudden avalanche of water, the aggravation of the degradation of natural resources.
The Kadida Gamela and Damboya Integrated Development Project is also engaged in personal and environmental hygiene. As a healthy society is a force of development, activities were undertaken to prevent diseases that may stem from lack of personal and environmental hygiene. 12 volunteers drawn from the 12 beneficiary Kabbales worked with health institutions to raise the awareness of the public on health issues. Personal and environmental hygiene clubs were set up in various schools to help students protect their personal and environmental hygiene, as well as impart their knowledge to their respective families and communities. Currently, 156 volunteer health ambassadors trained in personal and environmental hygiene are rendering services to the public. Thanks to the awareness-raising trainings provided by the project, people have now developed better understanding on the cause of waterborne diseases and their prevention. Training on construction of pit latrines has also been given to the local communities. Residents have now built their own pit latrines at their respective compounds.